Yeah, there's only one ball though. So, obviously Kendall's going to get it the most. The more Randall does, every week he does something a little bit better, so he's going to continue to touch the ball a bunch. Jeremy's kind of been a guy that we've wanted in short yardage situations, so he didn't have a very good week last week. He didn't have a very good week in practice, so we didn't play him very much. Hopefully he'll have a good week in practice and we'll be able to utilize him in those situations.
Coach Kendall said he came to you before the season and said, what are we going to do with Kendall in this offense? What was your reaction when he said that to you?
Nothing. I mean, we had to see what he did best first, and we had to see what else we had. I mean, he was a guy that we knew we were going to hand it to, but we also wanted to throw it to him a little bit too. But the emergence of the young kid kind of took some of those passing situations away from him, because it takes a lot out of a guy to do what Joseph would do, just like to motion out and run a vertical route, or be able to stick a guy and run a seam route like he did last week for a big game, or screens. I mean, that takes a lot out of you energy-wise, and we just want Kendall. We want his feet set, and we want to be able to hand it to him. We want it to look real good. So they complement each other extremely well. We figured that, they both can do, they both can run with it, they both can catch it, so we're just trying to put them in the best situation right now.
Has he been as good as you expected him to be this season?
Kendall? Probably a little better. I mean, he if we just don't wear him out, he typically gets a bunch of yards. His ability to make somebody miss on the line of scrimmage is extremely good. And those safeties at Kansas State filled even harder than the Nebraska guys did, because we didn't have a tremendous threat on the outside. So it was a little harder for him to make that first guy miss when we were right on top of it. But he's got the ability to make that guy miss pretty quick.
You had a pretty good idea of what you were going to see after the word got out that Justin wasn't going to play last week. Are you looking forward to having things open up a little bit more, period? Because I'm going to guess Baylor's not going to put a safety at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they probably put one of them anyway. Their safeties are pretty good. I mean, their safeties make a lot of tackles. They're experienced guys. They're physical guys that fill. So that's going to happen. I mean, it doesn't matter if you got Justin Blackman out there or not. I mean, if we're running the ball well, they're going to have to do something about it. So our game plan didn't change much last week from Monday night to Tuesday. It kind of remained the same. Now, the end result of the drives looked a little bit different, because Justin's ability to finish is as good as anybody I've seen. So I'm looking forward on Saturday to making my job a little bit easier once we put it in the air.
Of all the guys that got extended time for receiver that hadn't seen as much time, was Isaiah maybe the one who came through the best in your eyes?
Yeah, Bo made the best. I mean, he made the biggest impact. Cooper was average, which that's get that at times. But Bo was tremendous. I mean, he made a bunch of plays, played with a bunch of energy. His blocking was very average, which that's something that Tracy gives to a bigger body that can block. Without a doubt, Isaiah being able to the post that he caught was big, because if we wouldn't have been able to complete that, then they could have kept choking us down. And that loosened him up a little bit, loosened the corners up. He was able to make a few other third down catches.
Yeah, he also batted down a pass. It probably would have been picked off.
It was an unbelievable play. We talk about that all the time. Now I got a clip where I can show people. I can show some of the young kids what it means to make sure that you don't let those guys catch it, because it was without a doubt a bad play on Brandon's part and would have been intercepted.
Brandon, after the game, felt going a game without Justin, felt it grew him up a little bit and developed him a little as a quarterback.
Yeah, and we talked about it that whole week too, about the type of routes that we were going to be running, that he was going to have to sit back there and go through the reads. I couldn't tell him this guy was going to be open, that guy was going to be open, or all the rest. There was going to be a situation where he was going to have to sit back there. One, we were going to have to protect him, which he did, and two, he was going to have to set his feet and go through the reads, which for the most part looked pretty good.